Hey, it's Tazon Day. It's been a little while. I was actually tagged by Shay Carl in his WhyIVlog series, and I'm also in a movie that Shay Carl had a lot to do with Vlogumentary, an original YouTube Red movie. Check it out on YouTube Red. It's a movie that has a lot of YouTubers in it, myself, Shay Carl, Charles Trippy, and talks about YouTube culture and has a lot of heartwarming stories in that regard. There are a couple of questions about vlogging and just the topic of it. First of all, it's interesting because this began as a music channel, and I'd like to think it continues as a music channel, but at the same time, I can't ignore the times of where YouTube is, where you have so many people doing confessional videos, whether it's Casey Neistat, or is it Neistat? I'm terrible with names. Bogey2988, I love watching his videos. Tanner Fox, so many people doing daily videos and just talking to the camera and just being real and just being real people. And if you've watched the Tazon Day channel for a number of years, and maybe some of my second channel, Tavox, you've seen me go in and out of different experiments trying to vlog. And that's one of the questions, the kind of the guides in this tag video. How did you start vlogging? I feel like my vlogging career is kind of like a one of those old cars that that doesn't have fuel injection. It kind of has a carburetor, and it never quite starts in the winter. But you're turning the key, and the starter is kind of going, and sometimes it starts and then it sputters out, and then it starts and then it sputters out, and starts and sputters out again. And that's like my attempts to vlog and be real and be a real person over the years on this YouTube platform. In many ways, I feel like vlogging is not my natural gift. I don't feel naturally likable. I don't feel like I naturally emoted, that I am naturally emotionally vulnerable. I tend to be a fairly reserved person in real life. I tend to struggle to feel safe being vulnerable in every situation in life. And in many ways, I think YouTube for me started as this sense of, hey, I can create a character, I can create an alter ego, I can create a brand which is the antithesis, the opposite of being vulnerable, which is over the top and large and performative and somehow able to hide behind the meaning of a song or the meaning of lyrics. And I feel like over the years, the internet has moved away from that. Well, I guess that's my animation for moving away from that direction. I'm much more towards just turning the camera on and being confessional. And so, why I vlog, or why I have attempted to, and more pertinently, why I have often failed, in my opinion, is, on one hand, I think you really have to be clear on the reason why you vlog. I see people who have done vlog channels for years and years, and they don't always become successful businesses. So ultimately, I think, number one, the project of vlogging and talking to the camera is something that you have to do for yourself. It has to be something that allows you to achieve a goal that you want to achieve in your life, personally or socially or spiritually or whatever you want to do on this earth. Somehow vlogging is the instrument that allows you to get there, because on rainy days, on cold days, and in moments where it doesn't seem like a viable business, or where you don't feel like doing it, there has to still be that burning or that desire or that commitment to process, that it is a process that allows you to become, that allows you to enrich, that allows you to do something, to go somewhere that you would not otherwise be able to do. It's funny, I've been studying comedy and stand-up comedy in particular, and one thing that I keep being taught is this sense that when you go out there, if you're going to entertain an audience, if there are any elephants in the room, meaning if there is something that's very specific about you and your mannerisms or the way you do, if you have an accent, if you're short, whatever, in my case, if I'm somewhat recognizable for stuff I've done on the internet, you have to call out the elephant in the room, because it's something that people already see about you instantly. And for me, I feel like a lot of the work of being vulnerable and vlogging, it's calling out elephants in the room that people already see about me. People already see a lot of the energy in my body language and who I am, and maybe I don't always see those same things about myself clearly. And so in some ways, vlogging is a way to become more self-aware, more in tune with that. There's actually a list of questions in this tag video, and I'm kind of checking them out as I'm talking to you, and I'm scrolling in my phone, and I'm trying to seem slick, and I'm trying to seem on topic and organized, and I'm not sure that I'm doing that effectively. What inspires you to keep vlogging? That's another question. I would like to believe that I could be likable in the manner of some of the vloggers whom I see. You know, Nightscape is when his channel is blowing up, and he climbs buildings and does all sorts of wild things now. I think he's one of the fastest growing channels on YouTube. Charles Gross has had some growth recently. Tanner Fox is blowing up like crazy. Boogie2988 is someone who I always go back to, who I love the sense that he started as an over-the-top character, Boogie2988. He started as Francis, and then suddenly it was, wait, the actor who plays Francis is going to start talking on this channel, and then the channel became about him and not the over-the-top character. And somehow I feel like that's a transition he successfully made that maybe I never successfully made, partly because I wasn't really quite sure what I was doing with music, and maybe learning to be more vulnerable and address the camera in this manner is also some process that allows me to find out who I am, because I've always felt lost in life, lost on this earth, like I haven't ever really found my people. I can kind of sing and I can kind of do music, but I'm honestly, you know, a little bit talented. I don't consider myself super talented or savant in that regard. So I don't really fit in there. I don't really fit in with vloggers. I don't feel like being emotionally vulnerable and entertaining and likable and cathartic for other people to watch. I don't feel like that's in my DNA, so I kind of only fit a little bit in that regard. Whatever else I pursue, whatever else I do in life, I don't feel like I'm fully there. I feel like only a little piece of me overlaps, and so I spend a lot of time in life just feeling lost, feeling like I have not found my kinship, my brethren, or any place where I belong. Maybe creating an audience on YouTube, creating a brand, creating some sort of identity online is the closest sense that I will ever have to creating a tribe or creating a sense of belonging or having a place where I belong, having a place, a cultural space that I can call home. And maybe vlogging is part of implementing that type of project. I feel like I'm moving my hands a lot, like I have those politicians' hands. I don't know if that means that I'm passionate or engaged. I'm not actually sure. There's a lot of body language that I have that I'm not necessarily aware of, but it speaks a lot to who I am and what I'm doing. And I think it's in many cases a person's body language is the first thing you notice about them when they walk in a room. It speaks more to them than their words, and then, you know, whatever they say to you. I hope that somehow there is a clear thread through all of this. And in any case, if there is a one thing that I do want to conclude with, it is, again, check out Vlogumentary on YouTube Red. Check out Shay Carl's original Why I Vlog video. And I hope to see all of you soon on this channel. Thank you so much for watching, and this is the awkward ending. I've never figured out how to end a video non-awkwardly. It is always awkward and always abrupt, and maybe the best way to leave something is hoping that there is more to come back to, and I hope there is a heck of a lot more to come back to see on this channel.